This is on your channel.
Oh, this is my channel? Welcome to the table. This is Table Knots.
Is that what you're saying
That's
now?
what I say now.
You're saying
I say welcome to the table. Yeah.
Welcome to the table.
Is that good or bad?
No, I think it's pretty
Oh,
good.
good. This is a different table and a different environment than you may be used to.
I'm a duck.
His name's Jesse.
Oh, okay.
If you don't know him, which you likely do, this is Jesse from Quackalope, and today we're going to talk about Nemesis.
We are doing one of the series that I have over on Quackalope called Confirmation Bias.
Yes.
The whole concept of the series is the idea that we don't have enough conversations in the board game space anymore.
Sure.
And there's plenty of reasons why Nemesis is, like you saw in the title of this video, the best game that's ever existed.
Awesome.
And then over
then
my
we'll talk
channel,
later.
Yeah. There's also, because it's Confirmation Bias, another, series of videos or another video that we're going to be doing that'll be over on Quackalope talking about why Nemesis isn't even a board game.
Oh, oof. We're going far here. There's a board.
But genuinely, the whole point of this series of videos is not only to collaborate and have a conversation with people who have different opinions on board games, but also, if you type in, I hate Kingdom Death, or why Kingdom Death is amazing, well,
there you go.
You're going to find the answer.
That's
so
right.
Why don't we produce content that gives it to you? That being said, this video is all about why Nemesis
is one of my favorite games.
Genuinely one of your favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And from my record, I would say is a incredible cinematic gameplay experience. Probably one of the most immersive and thematic games.
Yes, we'll talk more about that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So there we have it. I think we've started the video.
Here we are.
We could probably, now we're in it.
Okay.
So this is the point where we talk more about it.
Let's bounce right off of what you just said.
Should we set up a little bit of what Nemesis is?
Yeah, I guess that's probably a good idea.
Most people are familiar, but let's give a blanket overview.
Have you seen Alien the movie? That's Nemesis.
Nemesis is going to be a semi-cooperative or fully cooperative play experience where you're going to be exploring through the wreckage of your spaceship. There's
it's not wrecked. Yeah.
Well, it's about to be. There's alien life forms that have inhabited this zone, and they will be infecting you, attacking you, tearing you apart, ripping you limb from limb, while you, coming up from your amnesia, like the cryo
sleep,
you're awakening on this ship, trying to reorient yourself, remember where positioning and controls are, find your localized zone, make sure the ship
to Earth
is redirected. Well, not necessarily Earth.
Not necessarily.
Redirected in whatever degree you need, or you just position yourself in a way that lets you steal an egg and put it on a pod. The reason this is semi-cooperative is because you have your own secret objectives.
Right.
Those could be working together as a team, or those could be kill player 3.
Right.
Or do your very best to make sure only 2 people survive.
Or you could just care about yourself. You're not hurting people actively.
You could just solely care about yourself. The core mechanics of this game are going to be variable asymmetric players.
Yep.
And different characters that inhabit roles of the spaceship, paired with a card-driven system. You'll each have a stack of, I believe, 10 cards.
Yep. It's your own deck.
Your own personal deck that you will cycle up, and you'll play every single round or turn to not only create defenses, but also do things like activate computers, initiate attacks, move from region to region. The chaos element of this game.
Oh, yeah. You've got fires, you've got malfunctions,
noise.
You've got aliens, you've got noise, you've got engines that are failing, you've got navigation systems taking you to Mars. There's a lot going on.
So, we each have 3 points. We haven't talked about these before this video, about why this is one of your favorite games of all time, and why, for me, I think this is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to bounce off what you said earlier.
Okay.
Nemesis.
Do we have to bounce off of it?
Yes. Do you want to, what's a word that has to do with space?
Ducks don't bounce well.
Something that has to do with space.
Ooh, we're going to thud silently against it.
Okay, that's great. This is...
That's a saying, right?
To me, the most cinematic gaming experience I have ever had on a table.
And I forgot to mention, by the way, if you want to see us play this game...
It will be here.
Well, it's not finished yet.
No, it's a long video.
Are you waiting on my B-roll, or are you waiting on...
No.
Yes, okay.
But that is something that we need.
So if you want to see me play this game, it's going to be here on this channel.
Spoilers, he'll also play the crew.
No, don't say that. Well, it's in now, but don't say that. Either way, what were you saying?
This is the most cinematic and engaging atmospheric game that I have ever played.
if you love Aliens the movie, if you love ambient, slow-paced, like sci-fi horror, if you want to live through the events of any of those science fiction...
I don't know why you would, but...
No, but if you do...
This is for you!
I see no reason why you wouldn't seek out this title.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's the only... Contrast to the game actually named Alien, this game does that experience far, far better.
I was going to say, I don't know why we're promoting Alien here, because it's not Nemesis.
It's not. It's not even remotely close. This is as close of a game you can get to that. You are on edge. You've got fire started in these rooms. You've got aliens chasing after you. You aren't even sure if your friends are on your side. There's so many different things that create a story that works together in such an atmospheric game.
That's the interesting part. Not only is the art beautiful, the aesthetic of this game is gorgeous, every character's card and player abilities, but throughout the experience, you really do feel like everything's working against you.
Oh, yeah.
It is
hard, too.
Exploring and revealing and unveiling, and every room has a thematic tie, has different resources. You can go searching for items, you can repair certain docks, and every journey you take is going to lead to moments where you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, what just happened?
You narrowly escaped
in both
from the
directions.
queen.
You narrowly escape, or her, protrusions are penetrating.
Yeah, she could just murder you.
And you have tiny little baby aliens crawling out of your mouth. I mean, both of those are possible.
That's a thing.
And they will happen.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. I just can't
it does it without narrative.
Yes.
That's the other interesting thing.
Right.
A lot of the narrative-driven games that I love are narrative-driven games that,
have
do RPGs
narrative.
for me. I read a book and play a game, and that's a great experience for me.
But this
Nemesis,
just gives you the components and the board and says, go make an experience of your own.
And it paints that picture for you every single step of the way. I mean, I venture to say that Nemesis is probably the most cinematic game I've ever played.
I don't know what could be.
I don't know that it's necessarily the most narrative-driven or
it's not.
It's not the most immersive story for me all the time, but I also don't like the Alien movies.
Yeah.
So, you have to... For me, it is such a cinematic... It's like a movie in a box.
The story is... It can be great.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the story that's immersive. It's the game as a whole. You feel like you're there. As someone with aphantasia that I can't imagine things...
It's true. It's a thing you have.
This game does so much for me in actually putting me in this environment with these aliens and fires being started, and it puts me there more than any other game I've ever experienced.
So, following up on that, because that was definitely one of my points.
Yep.
I wrote down one word for the next point that I want to paint.
Okay.
Unknown.
Sure.
Unknown.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does that word mean to you?
Well, the definition or in regards to Nemesis?
Either one.
Yeah, I don't know the definition off the top of my head.
Close enough.
In regards to Nemesis...
That would be the unknown. You're right.
It is. On purpose.
For me, what that word means here, the reason that was the only word that I needed, is one of the best parts of this experience is delving into and never quite having all the information you need.
Oh, yeah.
You start off as these explorers that wake up from a cryo-freeze area, and you're always trying to find that little last bit. Whether or not a creature is going to spawn, whether or not you're going to pull something that you need from the dice bag, whether or not you're going to have the cards, whether or not you're going to find the room you need, whether or not you're going to be able to complete your secret mission, whether or not at the very end of the game you're infected or not.
Right.
And all of these pinpoints of unknown moments open the door both to a cinematic experience, but also a really interesting gameplay setting.
Yes.
And it also mixes into the dynamic between the cooperative or semi-cooperative. I know there's different groups that advocate for both styles of play, some not liking a semi-cooperative experience, really, really fight for the cooperative only. Others that love the opportunity to stab your friend in the back enjoy delving into this. And so, for me, the biggest takeaway when it comes to gameplay mechanics here, and one of the best parts of this game, is the layers of strategic depth that are explored within the unknown elements of this game. You're balancing luck and strategy in a way that sometimes feels unfair.
Oh, it can.
But never feels like you couldn't have mediated it to some degree.
Right. I would 100% agree with that.
You could have went to the hospital before you got on that escape pod.
That's right.
You could have scanned yourself.
Could have had surgery.
But you thought to yourself,
there's 3 aliens around me. I gotta go.
That little lump's just the cancer I've always had.
Yeah. That's not a parasite.
No.
Yeah, so the only
Why would it be?
known when you start a game is what character you are and what cards you have in your deck. Everything else, you've got your objectives that you'll eventually narrow down from 2 to 1 when the first alien spawns. You've got the rooms that are flipped over. You've got the rooms, the tokens on the rooms that give you the dangers. It's all, you can put noise tokens where you want on occasion, but that doesn't mean you know that something's not going to spawn there anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much unknown, and it is a delight.
Yeah. What's your another point?
All right, my next one is many paths to victory and to defeat.
Okay.
There are a number of different things that can end in these high highs, and there are a number of different things, whether it be
variable win conditions is just one aspect of that. But you're talking about the fact that you can. It's not only variable win conditions. There are variable steps to end the game in a way.
Yeah.
There's the ship exploding.
Yep.
There's sailing off to various different planets or returning back to Earth. There's escape pods that you can pop out of. You could be murdered. You could have an alien inside of you. Your friend could lock you in a bunker until the queen shows up and slowly kills you. What?
Did that
Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, there are so many different paths that it goes kind of back to the unknown.
It does. Yeah.
You know where your end goal is eventually.
Well, that's interesting because the two known elements that you have are
how you start, how you end.
Well, not exactly how you end, but the opportunities for an exit.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the who you are and how you might
maybe
one of the 12 ways you might die or live.
Right.
And you're headed through the unknown in one of those.
Yeah, so I guess that actually works really well with your point.
Oh, it works great with my point. It's like we coordinated.
It's almost like we didn't, but we could have.
We didn't?
We maybe, did we? Mm-hmm. Well. Yeah, so I think it ties in really well. Just, you never know what's going to actually happen in Nemesis.
Well, it was a strong ending to that point. You sounded very unconfident by the end cycle of that.
I was trying to think of the name of the game. I was thinking Alien.
Yeah. The nice thing about Table Knots, we don't edit.
Me?
No, we don't edit.
You don't edit.
I'm not editing this.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not?
No. I'm just sending you a clip.
This is a lot more work than I thought. I didn't sign up for all this.
And then you'll upload the clip. And then it'll be a video.
Okay.
My last point or your last point? My last point is like a better final note.
Yeah, let me actually do two in a row.
You do your things.
I have 4 points. But you've kind of already touched on one. Just production. Production value.
I didn't touch on that.
You said that it was gorgeous.
The artwork.
Yeah. The miniatures, the artwork, it not only is pretty to look at, but it does so...
Well, and the mouthfeel on these is just delicious.
Yeah, especially the flame tokens. Yeah. Crazy. This just does so much to not only look good, but add to the experience that it is intending to have.
Do we need to say more than it's an Awakened Realms game?
Fair.
Fair. I mean,
regardless of how you feel about how the games are.
Let's just be honest about this company, for one. They produce some of the most beautiful, well-produced games in our entire industry. And so, it's an Awakened Realms game.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah. Okay, on to my last point, which we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, but not to an extent.
Okay.
Is just that there are high highs and extremely low lows.
It's true.
All
one of my favorite mechanics in a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, really, I'm not even joking. Like,
I'm not either.
The ability to have a little bit of randomness introduced into a system that gives you moments that are literally like stand up.
We both love
scream.
Kingdom Death.
Yeah,
that is a game that encapsulates this as well.
Yep.
There are moments where you will not realize that you're not going to escape, and then the moment hits, and it's shocking.
Yep.
And it's fun. It's heartbreaking, but it makes you want...
twist in your gut.
Yeah, and then an alien pops out. Exactly. Yeah, there are just so many high highs that sometimes rely on luck, like you were saying.
A little bit.
Rely on a dice roll where you have to land on the silence roll to not cause a queen to spawn, and you die. And you do it.
And it's a stand-up, everyone at the table who was paying attention to that moment knows the risk and consequences.
Oh, yeah.
And when you land on that right side,
it is.
Everyone goes... Whoa!
Yes, it is just so many emotions that can be brought out in this game, and that has just... There are low lows.
Sure.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to win every game. I want to experience what it has to offer, and it does such a good job of giving you a variety of different emotions to explore.
I 100% agree. And the last thing I have written down on my page here is going to be lockdown.
Okay.
Here's the reason. The reason. And again, this is a positive focused video.
Yes.
Nemesis has been expanded. It's been explored. It has a new whole core box on the way with variable creatures, aliens, monsters, heroes, players that you can play, more advanced rules, like
better minis.
So Nemesis as a genre has depth to it that I think a lot of games, because of its success, has depth to it that a lot of games maybe don't continue iterating on. Lockdown is an incredible gameplay experience. Nemesis is an incredible gameplay experience. Diving into this space, if you love aliens, if you love this cinematic adventure, because I've had the opportunity to play it and sit down in front of it and run through it, I can tell you that there is enough game here in the core box, in the expansions for the core box, and in the new things that are coming that you will have so much to play, and it'll be new and it'll be different, and it'll reiterate upon this core experience, but it'll do so in a way that always feels fresh and approaches it in a new way.
I wasn't that looking forward to Lockdown, just because I played this and I liked this, and a lot of what draws me into this game is that this is Alien the movie.
Sure,
it's Alien the movie.
It is.
Lockdown
It's like the second or third Alien movie.
Yeah, it's not the core Alien thought that comes to mind, but it pivots on that with you going to Mars.
Yes.
I mean, what is that, Prometheus or Alien something else?
You're in a Mars base.
Yes.
Yep.
But having spoken to you about your experience with it has certainly made me excited to try it out when it actually delivers.
Yeah, and that's my only thing to point that out is just I am excited about the depth that this game is getting.
Right.
It is being supported. It has brand new expansions coming out.
And we've never even played the expansions that are available for the core box.
I played some. You haven't.
I have not. Yes. Or I don't know how good they are, but there's the little campaign missions too.
There's little story missions. There are variable aliens that react and interact with you in a different way, and so that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if this is the right game for you and you fall in love with it, well, it has room to grow.
Yeah.
You know, you can play 12 sessions of this and then go, I want something new. I want something a little bit different. And guess what? This game will still give it to you. So, that's a video. That's a video on Nemesis. Now, if you want to hear
why it sucks,
all the reasons why I don't think Nemesis is a board game, swing over to Quackalope.
Okay.
That's going to be over on my channel. We'll be pushing the same way back and forth. So for those of you that came from my channel to check this out, hit that subscribe button down below. Max.
Go to Quackalope and hit that subscribe button.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I was asking
That's
you
what you were pushing for?
Yeah.
You were opening up the opportunity?
Max has been a incredible guest and sort of friend on the Quackalope channel. Well, I was gonna say like co-host and things, but it's not. You've started your own thing.
I have.
And so.
Well, you're leaving me.
Yes, I am. So I am super excited that Max and I were able to connect over the last year in Kentucky, and I'm thrilled to see what you're working on.
Thanks, Jesse.
So, all that being said, I'm a duck.
And I'm Max, and this is Table
This is
Knots.
on your channel, so this awkward ending's all you.
Yeah, that's what we strive for.
That's what you go for?
Uh-huh.